Team YouTube, what is happening? Efficient in the field. I am going to burn through this video today, guys. It is going to come hot. It is going to come fast. And we're going to talk about some stuff I should have covered on this YouTube channel months and months ago. It's been on my list for a long time. Probably 6 weeks ago, I had a guy hit me up again in the comments like, please talk about how to find like-minded people and find yourself in a group for what's coming. And that's what we're going to talk about. And dudes, I'm serious. You need to watch this video. I know the gun channels are more fun. You get to watch some guys shoot like ballistic gel dummies and all kinds of shit and make all kinds of funny ass jokes. But here's the thing, guys. I'm just going to keep it real because that's what this guy does. Guns are going to be 5% of shit hit the fan for you. Hopefully. If you're stupid and you're living in the wrong place right now and you're making bad decisions, well, it could be 100% of shit hit the fan for you, and it's going to be a very short shit hit the fan. You got to focus on other things, guys. And I know that stuff's entertaining and fine. You know, spend your free time watching entertaining shit, but spend time watching things that are going to actually help you produce good results. And so in this video, I'm going to drop some very, very serious tips. I feel that they're very serious, and I hope that in the comment section down below, we can really turn this into a conversation. And so any of you that have some very serious tips about finding like-minded people and moving in the direction of a group, bam, comment section, light it on fire. Real quick, why do you need to be in a group for shit hit the fan? Let's totally kill it, dudes. Look at current events. History repeats itself, guys. It does. And if we take a look at the American Empire and we compare it to the Roman Empire back in the day, not only have we followed the things that caused them to collapse, but it's even worse than that. Because we have a fiat currency and they didn't. And the dollar's going to tank, dudes. It's going to tank. Look what's happening with the BRICS nations. You got more people joining BRICS every single month. It's people that don't want to trade in US dollars. That's really going to hurt the currency. We got gold that's almost hit $2,700 an ounce. I expect it's probably going to hit $3K by the end of the year. And gold is a good indicator when it comes to stability. The more gold is worth, the less stability we have. We have an ally in the Middle East, Israel, that's going Old Testament on everybody and causing collateral damage when it comes to non-combatant deaths up in the tens of thousands, pissing everybody off in the region that wasn't already pissed off and didn't already want to kill them for a whole bunch of ancient ass reasons. We have Russia so sick and tired of NATO and the West assisting Ukraine at striking targets deep inside of Russia that it's decided to decentralize the decision to use nukes. That means any Russian general can just be like, they're hitting us with a lot of shit right now. Nuke them. That probably sounded like German, but you get the idea. They can just rip off a nuke because Ukraine's sending a whole bunch of drones their way. Seriously, guys, it's insane. It's crazy where we are. So we're like on the brink of nuclear war. We're on the brink of financial collapse. And on top of it all, this country has been completely hijacked by the extreme progressive left. And what are they really, guys? Let's keep it real. You know what they are? They're fascists, socialists, and communists, depending on which one of them you're looking at. And we can see how this ends. Go look at early 1930s Germany. Go look at 1920s Russia. It's going to get dark. It's going to get really, really dark, pimps. You got to get ready. And I know a lot of guys out there right now, they're like, oh, well, Trump's going to win. He's going to fix it all. But is he? Is he actually going to win? We've seen what the far progressive left will do to cheat. Guys, I called it over 4 years ago. I told my wife, I'm like, they're going to let a ton of people come in the country. They're going to try to legalize them. They're going to try and get them to vote. And they're going to buy them. And you know what? Let me tell you something. If you're one of the people that came into this country illegally, they are buying you. The far left is buying you because bribery works. That's right. The money you're getting every single month, the free bus tickets, free plane tickets, the free food, the free cell phone, all that shit that Americans that have lived and worked here for decades don't get, even though they're retired. They're buying you. Let's get back on financial collapse real quick. I think it was that little twink Pete Buttigieg the other day that said that they don't have any money to help the victims of Hurricane Helene. They're out of cash. It was one of those people on the far left. I thought it was him. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But guys, they're out of cash because they just wrote a check for $8 billion to Ukraine. If you're not paying attention yet, your government despises you if you're a hardworking American. They despise you. They hate your guts, man. You can work your ass off here your entire life and put money into Social Security and all that other shit, and they're going to do everything they can to cheat you out of taking advantage of your donations at the point of a gun, because that's what they really are, right, guys? You don't pay into the system, they're going to come stick a gun in your face. That's where we are, guys. Hard times are coming. So back on Trump. Oh, let's say he wins. Let's say he gets into office and he doesn't get assassinated, because it's not like sitting presidents haven't been assassinated before, and there's already been 2 attempts on the guy's life. Let's say he gets in and actually cleans out the swamp this time. He was going to do it in his first term and didn't do shit. But let's say he actually says what he means and he does it this time. What's he going to do, guys? He's going to do exactly what Biden has done. He's going to take all of his political opponents. He's going to use those 3-letter alphabet agencies, and he's going to stick it to them and throw their asses in prison. And if you think that the next far-left progressive president that gets in office isn't going to give all those people pardons and let them out and fire every single person that Trump put in office and write an executive order to undo every single thing that Trump did, boy, you're not paying attention. This is where we are in America today. It is completely acceptable now for a sitting president to use the feds to persecute his political opponents. Things aren't going to change, guys, until we see massive bloodshed. That's where we are. I hate to say it. I really hope that this wasn't going to happen until I was up in my 70s and 80s, because I really probably wouldn't give a shit at that point in time. I'd be like, my kids are raised. They're all good. My grandbabies are raised. Like, I'm just going to sit in the house and drink whiskey, and the first person that kicks on my door is going to get some 12-gauge double-aught buck in their chest. You know, I really wouldn't have given a shit. But I'm still young now. I still got kids that are still in the house, and even my grown kids are still young. And so it's concerning to me. And so we need to get ready. And to get ready, guys, we need to be a member of a group. You don't want to be lone wolfing this shit for a lot of reasons. Let's get after it really, really fast. Reason number 1, there's strength in numbers. Let's say you're going it alone, you're armed, you're out there, you're trying to take care of business, and boom, you run into 2 guys that are armed. They don't even have to be as good as you, man. They don't have to be as good as you. They can be worse than you, and you're probably going to get smoked. You might get the first one of them, but the second one's going to murk you. Well, now you're dead. And what if it's 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys? Now you're really up shit creek. And months into the opening chaotic windows of shit at the fan, man, they're not just going to kill you. They're going to eat you. When it comes to pulling security, how are you going to do that? You can't stay awake 24/7. Trust me, I know this, man. I did Army Ranger school, and I'll tell you that after 3 days of getting no sleep, you start to hallucinate like a son of a bitch, man. I've seen grown-ass dudes try to put dollars into trees out in the middle of swamps thinking they were vending machines. There's strength in numbers, guys. You need other people to pull security while other people are taking care of business. You need people to watch your back. I've always been training my kids since they were really little. Have a battle buddy. You always go with somebody else. You could be this badass dude and shit at the fan out there trying to bug out, freaking lone wolfing it, and twist your damn ankle, and you're absolutely, totally screwed, man. Something like that will put you neck deep in shit creek with your mouth wide open. Let's say you had to haul water half a mile to your camp, and all of a sudden you freaking break an ankle. What are you going to do? You're going to drag your ass to the creek and lay on the side of it, sipping water and shit, hoping someone doesn't walk the shoreline like they're going to do and find you there and rob you and leave your ass to die or do worse things to you, you don't want to be lone wolfing. I know someone's going to be like, oh, Pronicky, he went up to Alaska and built a log cabin and lived up there by himself for over 2 decades. Yeah, but all he had to deal with was grizzly bears. That's it. And if you think grizzly bears are the apex predator and shit hit the fan, man, you're wrong. Even if you live in Alaska, even if you live in the northern parts of Canada, you're wrong, because man is the ultimate predator. Look at the murder numbers, the assault numbers, the pedophile numbers, all of them. It's men, massively men, way up in the high 90%. So men are going to be the ones that try to steal your shit. They're going to be the ones that try to kill you. They're going to be the ones that try to victimize you and shit at the fan. That's how it's going to go. And Pronicky didn't have to deal with men trying to come along and kill him at his little cabin on the side of that lake and take all his shit. He didn't have to deal with that. So it's going to be different in SHTF, pimps. The second reason you need to have other people with you, and I kind of talked about this a little bit already, is if you get hurt, guys. I'm going to tell you something right now, because you guys know that I'm honest, and I will tell you about my own situation to a degree. I do like some anonymity, but I got really, really hurt recently. Really hurt. To a point where my wife took my shoes and my socks off that night. Okay? And now it's turned a 5-hour task into like a 20-hour suck fest, man, because I'm trying not to make the injury worse. And if I was by myself right now and shit hit the fan and this happened to me, I'd be in a really, really bad spot. And so, you know, being older and wiser now, and being someone who has this reoccurring injury that I've had for the last 27 years, because the infantry gave me a whole bunch of really great things, but it gave me some not great things as well. You know, I've had to wrap my head around the fact that I have to be careful in certain ways, and it's not going to hurt me to have people around me that I can trust, people that I can help when they're down and that will help me when I'm down. Okay, dudes? It's just the bottom line, man. It's true. It's not fun to have to admit it. It's not fun to have to talk about it. It's just the reality. And a lot of you guys that want to lone wolf it, man, you're older dudes. You're up in your 50s, 60s, 70s. You are more prone to being injured. You might know more. You might be wiser, which is a definite boon. But at the same time, it's easier to get injured at that age. And you know it's true. You know I'm right. So you don't want to be a lone wolf. I'm going to tell you that I am going to do a video about lone wolfing it and shit hit the fan, and the way I think you need to play the game. Because some of us are going to get stuck doing it, whether we want to do it or not. You really need to be finding a group and doing everything you can to be a part of that group for SHTF. But what happens if you get separated? What happens if you're separated for 3 months, 6 months? What if they get wiped out and you're the only survivor and you have to lone wolf it for a period of time? You want to know how to do that. So we're going to cover it. Make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss the video. The third reason is that you don't know everything, and there's always somebody out there that's better than you at whatever specific task we're thinking about at the time. They don't have to be better than you in every way. Maybe they're just better than you in one way. Maybe they just know more than you in certain areas. But that's still a benefit to you to have them around, especially in SHTF, which is going to be the hardest days, weeks, months, and hopefully years of your life. Because for a lot of people, it's only going to last in minutes or hours or days. Seriously, dudes, right? So you want all the badass team members you can possibly get your hands on. That's what you want. I want you to do this. I want you to think of the hardest thing you've ever had to get through in your entire life. And then I want you to make it 10 times harder and make it last 100 times longer. That's shit hit the fan. Do you want to do it alone? You don't want to do it alone, guys. There's my sales pitch, okay? So let's get on to the next thing. I hope I just sold you on this. Find like-minded people, get into a group. How do we get that done? One big recommendation I want to make for everybody that's interested in this and doesn't really have the gift of the gab or isn't very much a social person is go read Napoleon Hill's book, Winning Friends and Influencing People. And I think that's what it's called, or Making Friends and Influencing People, something like that. Go look it up. My stepfather recommended it to me back when I was in my early 20s. And I wasn't a guy with the gift of the gab, dudes. I wasn't. It changed things for me. And I'm going to just throw out some hints in the book that are going to help you be more effective. The first one is that you want to listen to people. Be a good listener, man. People love to talk about stuff. So ask them questions. Let's say you're at some kind of livestock meet and you got this guy's got a pig and he looks like kind of like an old country dude and you're like, I'm going to chat with this guy for a while. Oh, nice pig, man. Like, tell me about your pig. Boom, he's going to tell you about his pig. Like, how did you get into raising hogs? He's going to tell you how he got into raising hogs. Like, when did you build the facilities? Whatever it's going to be, man. Start making small talk about this kind of stuff because people love to talk about themselves. So you want people to do that. So start asking people about themselves and learn to be a good listener. The next thing you want to do is learn how to give people compliments. That's number 2. And it needs to be real. You need to mean it. Like, oh, hey, cool glasses, man. That's it. Just give them a compliment. Nice boots. Where'd you get those? You know what I'm saying, guys? It's a great way to give people compliments that you mean, and they'll start talking to you. And you give people a little boost when you do that. And do it about the way they do things. Be like, man, that was great the way you handled that situation. I wish I could handle them as good as you did. Situations like that. They're going to be like, oh, man, like, wow, that person just built me up. This is a great way to build rapport with people and to go to the next level when it comes to like trust and friendship. Because guys, trust, you got to build it with people and you have to give it to get it. There's those people, I'm sure you all have worked with them, where you go start some job and the guy's like, I don't respect nobody until they give me respect. How stupid. That is the dumbest shit. I've heard that so many times throughout my life and I look at the guy and I'm just like, okay, so you're not going to give anybody respect, but you expect them to give you respect because you treat them like shit all the time. Like, how does this make any sense? This is so stupid, man. You got to give a little bit of trust to get it. You got to give a little bit of respect to get it. So this guy always gives everybody a little bit of trust and a little bit of respect. Just a little bit. That's it. And then I build on there. You know, if they prove that they're more trustworthy, well, then I trust them a little bit more. I give them a little bit more. And then da-da-da-da-da, you get the idea. The next thing I learned in Napoleon Hill's book, which is very interesting, but it's really great. It's a great thing to learn how to use. This is to come up with an idea and give somebody else the credit for it. That's what you do. You're trying to accomplish some task with somebody and you find out the way to do it and they get it done. And then you just pass on the credit to them later. When you're hanging out with some other people, you'll be like, yeah, he figured out how to, you know, da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And a really good person, if you say that, a really good person is going to be like, nah, man, that was all you. You figured out how to get that done. But there's a lot of good people out there that are going to accept the credit. And they're going to be like, oh, did I? Oh, yeah, like I guess I kind of did. But it makes them feel good. It's another thing to build them up. It's another way to build rapport. Because here's the thing, pimps. People you're going to team up with and shit at the fan, they don't have to be perfect. You're not perfect. Reality check time, you're not. You know, you got all the shit you suck at. You got the stuff you screwed up in your life. You got the bad calls that you've made. You know, so how can you expect everybody else to be perfect? You can't. You have to try to find people that are kind of moving in the same direction as you and thinking the same things as you to a degree and have skills that are going to benefit you and the group. And that's the people you want to ally yourself with. Let's talk about political views real quick, because over here we got the far left progressives, the crazy fuckers that are like going to huge parties, like furry tranny parties where all the drinks are spiked with like abortion pills and HIV meds. And then on the flip side, you got like this super conservative, like white people that have never seen anybody of color in their entire life and like live way out in the boonies and are just totally willing to vote your rights away too, because they don't want you smoking pot. You know what I'm saying? You get these two extremes, and then in between you got everybody else. And really most of America is like in here. You know what I mean, guys? And so you're not really looking for people on either one of these super extremes, although you might kind of lean towards one side over the other, depending on where you sit. But dudes, think about this, man. Lots of gun store owners were talking about how liberals were purchasing their first handgun in the last 3 years. Lots of people on the left had the shit scared out of them, guys. They did. And they're moving in the same kind of direction. They're starting to. So people are ripe for the plucking right now when it comes to finding people that are worried about where the country is going. They are, dudes. This can't be that hard. And do you have to find people in a group that agree with you politically in every way? You don't. Because I'm going to tell you something. When everything falls apart, nobody is going to give a shit about politics for years. They're not going to care. Everyone's just going to be like, man, we just need to get these damn seeds in the ground and get them growing. Or, man, we got to go haul that water from the creek. You know, or we need more firewood. Winter's coming. Winter is coming. We don't want to freeze to death. You're going to have so many more things to focus on other than like, Kamala's this and Trump is that. So I hope that you will look past that when it comes to finding people that are, you know, wanting to be more prepared. Let's get down into more of the meat and potatoes of this. Where do you actually meet these people? And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. What you need to do is you need to look at the things that you're interested in when it comes to prepping and survival that you're interested in. And you need to find some groups, and you need to attend events, and you need to make small talk. That's what you got to do, man. Seriously. So Facebook, to be honest, as much as I don't like the dude that runs it, there are all kinds of groups on that social media platform that cover freaking everything, man. Get on there, go find one that you like, that you're interested in, find the events, go join the events, make small talk with people. And then this is really the hard part for a lot of people that aren't social. You need to pull some numbers. I'm not trying to make it sound gay, man, but if you're talking to some dudes that you really liked and you had a good time with them, you need to just be like, hey, man, I'd like to come to another event with y'all. You know, does that sound good? And they're like, yeah. You can be like, all right, cool, here's my number. Give me a ring. Don't make it weird. Don't make it awkward. Don't make it take too long. Just boom. And then be like, what's your number? Bam, you got their number. Because let's be real, dudes. Like a lot of guys, the people that they know in their lives right now are friends they made in high school, college, or at work. And if you're a dude and you have some friends that you know from these places and you're still looking for a group, guess what? They're not your group. You need to branch out, man, and you need to go pull some numbers. If you are extremely challenged when it comes to social mobility, let's say you're just like extremely introverted, you have a hard time talking to people, breaking the ice, doing that kinds of stuff, here's what you need to do. You need to make a friend that is very socially mobile and has the same goals that you have, like finding more people, make it a group. And go out with them, be a wallflower, that's fine, but you can be an extra body that they've got hanging out and give them that little bit of extra encouragement to go talk to some people if they need it, which they probably won't if they're a super social person. But here's the thing, dudes. You don't have to be original and you don't have to be the leader. It is perfectly fine to ride somebody else's coattails to survival. This is about the bottom line, pimps. It's about making it through the hard times that are coming. And let me just throw out as a quick side note there, because there's probably people from 3-letter alphabet agencies that are watching some of my videos at some point in time. You know what? We aren't fucking weirdos, man. We're not. We're just people that want to make it through the hard times that this government is going to bring upon us. This has nothing to do with any weird militia shit. It has nothing to do with any weird anti-government shit, man. We just want to make it better for our wives and our kids through the hard times that are coming. And I'm going to suggest to you that you start prepping. Because guess what? This government is going to ask you to do things that are absolutely morally reprehensible to you in the next so many years. It's going to happen, if not months. They're going to ask you to do it, and you're going to have to decide between bringing that check home to mommy or going it the hard way. And you want to have options, guys. Those of you dudes that are working for those agencies, you want to have options, man. You want to be able to say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I don't believe in it. It's gone too far. I got to pull the plug. And you want to have that fuck you money. That's what my stepdad used to call it, was you want to have, you know, multiple months of salary saved up so you can bail and go find something else to do. But when times are getting really hard, man, you want to have that food. You want to have that water. You want to have the money to cover your mortgage if you have to in the meantime while you find something else to do, guys. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you where it's going to go. Do we have to get on Facebook and find groups? No, we don't have to do that, dudes. There's a lot of ways you can get this done. Let's take a gun range, for example, because a lot of y'all love these gun channels on YouTube. And you know what? I love them too. I think it's great. It's just guns are only going to be 5% of shit hit the fan. Let's say you like shooting and you don't need a range, but you need a group. Go to the damn range anyways. And instead of walking all the way down and picking that lane at the far end that nobody wants to go to so you can have that space by yourself, what you're going to do instead is you're going to pick a lane right between two tables that are taken up by other dudes. And you're going to get in there and you're going to set your stuff up and you're going to be like, damn, that thing is loud. What are you shooting, man? You know, oh, check this out. Look what I got. Da, 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 da. You going to take a few shots down range? Do that, man. Do it. It's a great way to break the ice. They get to shoot your guns. You get to shoot their guns just a little bit. And at the end of it all, you do the same thing. You pull a number. You'd be like, hey, I had a good time hanging out with y'all. Y'all want to meet up at the range sometime? I'll bring my da-da-da-da-da. And they'll be like, okay, yeah, okay, cool. You know? Or they might be like, nah, you know, I don't come to the range much. And you can be like, oh, that's cool, whatever. You know, you don't have to pull a number every time, man. You know, don't let it hurt you in that way if it doesn't happen. Just get out there and start making it happen. Now, let's talk one more time about expectations when it comes to groups. And it probably should be a whole nother video. This thing's already dragging on pretty long. I'm just going to blow through it real fast, dudes. A lot of guys, especially ex-military dudes like me, have experienced ultimate teamwork at this super, super, super high level. Listen, guys, you can't expect that from every member of your group anymore. You can't. What you're looking for is people that are like-minded, bodies that are going to do time pulling security. They're going to do time weeding the garden and watering it. You know, that's what you really need right now. We're getting down to the wire, pimps. You cannot be looking for these like super ultimate shit hit the fan prep people. If you find them, great. That's cool. That's awesome. But you got to have some realistic expectations right now. And right now it is a numbers game. That's what it is. Find people that are worried about where things are going and want to make something happen with it. And how do we get there with that conversation? Real quick, I'm going to throw it out there for you, give you guys some examples. Let's say you met these guys at the gun range, y'all went shooting again, and then the next thing you know, you're like having a barbecue, you know, or whatever. And all you need to do is be like, you know, I'm worried about where things are going, man. I feel like I need to be preparing more. Just throw that out there and see where it goes. Remember, you got to give people a little bit of trust to get some trust. So throw it out there and see what they say. You're not saying like, oh, I just bought like another 5,000 rounds of ammo. I got 20K rounds and I got da-da-da-da. No, don't do that weird shit, man. Don't throw everything out there. Once the toothpaste comes out of the tube, you can't put it back in there. You know, so just throw out a little bit of trust and see where they go. Because he might be like, yeah, man, I just bought another case of 45 ACP. Right? So now he's giving you some trust and you can be like, dude, I hear you. You know, I've been looking at the ammo prices. I'm going to buy another case, blah, 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 blah. That, just build it. Build on it slowly. A lot of guys just take it to like this weird ass place, you know, and just go like over the top with it. And it scares people off. You don't want to do that. Just baby step it. Okay. Give them a little bit of trust. And when they give you a little bit back, then you give a little bit more and you give a little bit back to fill people out. And here's the thing, dudes. Do you need to get to some point where you get this group that's all like, we're all going to meet at so-and-so's house? You don't necessarily need to get there. Where you need to get right now is you need to have allies. You need to have people that are like, okay, yeah, I live 5 miles away. I'm getting ready at my place. You're getting ready at your place. Like if something bad happens, we can go to one another's house. You know, and if you want to take the next step with it, which I would suggest you do once you've gotten to that point with trust with people, is what you do is you say, hey, I got some space in the garage and it's the size of a pallet. Literally, I put a pallet on the floor and I want to open it to you guys. If you are interested, you can store some stuff at my place, food, water, and some additional supplies and stuff like that, and so that it's there for you in case you have to bail and come to my spot. You know, that's just one option, guys. But you throw that out there for people, and then they're thinking, they're like, wow, this guy is willing to, you know, give us this space for stuff like at his spot. Eventually you can always have the conversation with them and be like, hey, you know, I feel like your place is safer. It's better than my spot. Like, can we make a plan so that I just come to your spot and we like hunker down here if things go crazy and I can store some stuff here? Now, let's say your place is better. You take the pallet approach, you know, and they might be like, you know what, your place is better. Like, we love that idea. And then you can say, well, then maybe I need to, you know, give you more than a pallet worth of room. And we can figure out all the details. But, you know, I want to make sure that that we can like team up and be force multipliers for one another and be successful in one place, like when everything goes south. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's basically how you want to play it. And seriously, the best thing I can tell you is that you don't want to go too over the top, but you want to be the good guy, man. You want to be the guy that's being willing to offer them the space or to do, you know, to give more than what you're getting. Really, that's going to win people over a lot, and they're going to understand that you're a good person. And here's the thing, pimps. Do you want to be right or do you want to be effective? Let's say your place is way better, and you're having a conversation with them, and you're just like, my place is way better, man. Like, you guys should come here. You know, your place doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, my place has it. You're being right, but are you going to be effective? Are they actually going to store stuff there? No, you want to be effective. I heard this saying a long time ago, and it stuck with me forever, man. You want to be effective more than you want to be right. You want them to jump on the opportunity to store stuff at your place. You know your place is better. They'll see it. After a while, you build more trust, and you guys are hanging out, and you show them like your water set up a little bit, you know, and then next time you're hanging out, you show them this whatever, da-da-da-da-da. When you've built that kind of trust and you know that they're trustworthy people, you know, you'll get there. That's it, pimps. I'm going to wrap it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, it's conversation. Comments down below. Please hit it up. Make sure you like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and check out my Patreon link in the description down below, guys. I do huge info dumps for my patrons and drop just all kinds of content. It's probably 4 times as many minutes of footage on there as I have on YouTube and TikTok at this point in time. Get ready. Find some like-minded people if you need to do it, man. I'll pray for your all success when it comes to getting it done, and I'll see you on the next video.